the end of the month, you will start your tour in support of Lighthouse. So how do you feel about it?
I get nervous, on the Tenderness tour, I had Shooter Jennings and his band, and they were a band that's been together for like 8 years, and they played on my record, and they were naturally my backing band. And now on this, because I made Lighthouse really on my own, like with a couple different players here and there, because it was COVID, you couldn't like get in a room with a bunch of people like, let's cut it. So getting a band in, finding the right people that could really portray this record and the Tenderness record well, was a challenge. And I got a really, really cool band. Nervous, that's a general word I guess I could use. I mean, you have to walk in the room doing this kind of stuff with a ton of confidence, even if it's like you're just kind of burying yourself in some sort of confidence, because you're going to get it to that place where it's going to work. But I've been working on my voice for the last 2 months. I've been singing the record. I've been playing. I've been doing the preparation for rehearsal. You just hope everything works, I mean, same with Guns N' Roses. We rehearsed for like 2 months before we go on tour, and you want to make sure everything's great. And in this case, I'm going to go out and play smaller places. You're going to hear every guitar stroke and every snare hit because everybody's right there. So it's got to be really cooking. The band's got to be cooking. So that's getting it to that point. I won't say I'm not nervous, but I feel assured that this is going to be one of the best bands I've been in. So,
as we mentioned, the tour is in support of Lighthouse. How are you approaching the live performance of this new song? I mean, are there specific musical elements or aspects of the songs that your focus is on the most to bring them to life on stage?
Wow, it's a great question. That's a very musical question. Yes, there's certain things. Well, there's certain things you can and can't do with the instrumentation that we have. We don't have a violin for Tenderness, so we have this guy Jeff Fielder who can play all kinds of things on his guitar, and he plays keyboards too. So he's made like these cool things. Instead of Aubrey's violin for some songs on Tenderness, he plays other stuff like synthesizer and stuff, and it's super cool and different. But still, it's that song. And then the instrumentation on Lighthouse, I mean, some of it's pretty lush, a lot of acoustic guitars, a lot of backing vocals. I was by myself, like I'm going to just put more backing vocals on and create like an orchestra with my backing vocals when I can. So having everybody in the band being able to sing is really key to finding the guys I found. Everybody's got to be able to sing. So that's what we've been working on a ton. It's backing vocals. We'll change some things up because we have to, because we don't have a horn section or we don't have, strings. But we have Jeff Fielder, so he can do anything.
If I may say so, Lighthouse touches themes like reflection, resilience, and I mean, like your previous works, your music often blends different genres from punk to hard rock, but also maybe more softly sound, if I may say so, something like that. How do these themes and sounds translated to your live performances? I mean, and do they affect how you connect with the audience on this tour, maybe?
Absolutely. They affect how I connect. And these particular songs, Lighthouse and Tenderness, when I write the lyrics, I try to be inclusive. I try to use a lot of we's, not I. You never start a song with I. I tend to, like the softer side of these songs. I learned in like 2015 or so, let's say, with my acoustic guitar up against my chest and playing chords. I started to sing, listen to my acoustic guitar and sing, sort of, not scream. Like, let's find a melody that my guitar is trying to tell me to sing. And everything's kind of been drawn back. I think they're still punk songs. They're 3-chord songs, you know, with like the truth in there. 3 chords and the truth, you know, like that's the name of me and Susan's radio show. And that's what I try to do.
I take Lighthouse as an example because it's full of great collaboration and important guests. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you can give us a hint, but do you think or do you thought about any collaboration or guest appearance for your tour? And then I would like to ask you something about the extraordinary praise from Bob Dylan about Chip Away. Last year in an interview, you said you sent a letter to Bob Dylan to thank him for his praise and invite him to collaborate. So I would like to ask you if has the situation evolved?
No, I did actually. Susan and I had dinner and we went and saw Pearl Jam together with Jacob Dylan, his son, here in Seattle a couple months ago. And that was really fun. And we talked about it a bit. I mean, that's just so cool. You know, I wrote him a letter, yeah, because, you know, that's what I do. You know, I wrote him a letter and sent him like the deluxe edition of Tenderness, you know, with the booklet and all the stuff in it. Not expecting an answer. It's Bob Dylan, you know. It's fine. A collaboration on the road. Hey, if Bob Dylan wants to come play with us when we're in New York or, you know, LA, sure. I'll put the invitation out. Or Jacob, you know. I don't know, you know, there's some friends I have all over the world, and some of them are good players, you know. I'm not sure about Italy, but I have a lot of friends who play, and if somebody gets up and plays with us, it's great, you know. I have a lot of really good musician friends that would add to the show if they got up. So, well, more to come on that.
In your solo works, I mean, you involved a lot in songwriting. So I would like to ask you, how do you feel the creative process is for you now? And what are the differences to create music for your solo works between creating with something else?
Yeah, I mean, my creativity right now, it just gets, to me, it feels like it gets stronger and stronger. I've had a really good, for me, you know, I feel like I'm on, like in the last 10 years, I've been writing so many songs. For myself, lyrically, it's a different thing. I can say what I mean from my observations and so on and so forth. It may not work for, my lyrics may not work for Axel to sing because they're so personal to me, you know, or somebody else to sing. You know, do I write songs for other people? I don't, because I just don't know how to do that. You know, write for some young band, some young rock. I don't know how to do that. I just write for myself. Some things I have for sure. I set aside. I record everything on my GarageBand. Like, oh, this is that's a Guns riff right there. I'll bring that, you know. But I've got I have a lot of things on my GarageBand, and I can tell when they're for me, and I can tell when they're, you know, maybe for Guns, for something else. And it's been a good period, but I do have acoustic guitars next to me. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's a really good place. You know, I have a really great wife, great kid. Like, my life is good, and it gives me the opportunity to write my songs in peace. Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Bye for now. Thank you.
It's a great honor.